cars torched, downtown buildings spray painted, with at least 56 people arrested, and demonstrators shutting down parts of the 101 freeway. And tonight, word of approximately 700 Marines set to deploy, following the president already mobilizing California's own National Guard. That leading to a political showdown, with California announcing a lawsuit against the administration, and President Trump saying today he would support the arrest of California's Governor Gavin Newsom. Tonight, we've got our reporters out across the city, and we begin with Liz Kreutz. Liz, let's start with the Marines being called in tonight.
Yeah, Tom, so officials calling in 700 Marines that are being mobilized here. They're not here in LA yet, but they are on their way. You can see there's a large crowd that is gathered here. Those Marines, we're told, are experts in de-escalation and crowd control, and they're going to join those 2,000 National Guard troops. Some of them you see right there at this federal building, facing off now with protesters. Tonight, a massive group of protesters again taking to the streets of LA.
In this country, no killing is illegal.
The city of Angels on edge after violent clashes over the weekend. Police in riot gear facing off with protesters who oppose immigration enforcement operations carried out by ICE agents. Tonight, President Trump saying he made a great decision to send 2,000 National Guard soldiers to the city.
People that are causing the problem are professional agitators or insurrectionists.
California's Democratic Governor Gavin Newsom opposed the president's move, saying Trump was manufacturing chaos and violence.
You had a disaster happening. I feel we had no choice. I don't want to see happen what happened so many times in this country. I watched Minneapolis burn.
All of this erupting in response to ICE immigration enforcement operations. More than 100 undocumented immigrants arrested last week. DHS saying most had final deportation orders, some with criminal records, including domestic violence and robbery. Mayor Karen Bass calling on residents to express their anger peacefully and blaming the president for inflaming the unrest.
I don't want people to fall into the chaos that I believe is being created by the administration.
The weekend. This video showing DHS agents pelted with objects while inside their vehicle. And here, a restaurant worker helping a sheriff's deputy who appeared to be pepper sprayed.
Tonight we had individuals out there shooting commercial-grade fireworks at our officers. That can kill you.
Police firing non-lethal rounds to disperse the crowds. One hitting this reporter. The protesters taking over one of LA's busiest freeways, bringing traffic Sunday to a standstill. Crowds above the incendiary devices at officers. An electric scooter landing on the hood of a police car. One on right now. Protesters have shut down the freeway. You can see flashlights have been going off. Police are closing in. Protesters are running southbound. Let's go. Our team pulling back to avoid the tear gas. Just vehicles that got stuck in the chaos. Things are escalating now. Protesters have lit 2 Waymo self-driving cars on fire. You can see the flames here. Police cars and this American flag also set ablaze. During the clashes, many waving Mexican flags, what's become a symbol of resistance against ICE.
I'm flying this proudly because it's a product of my personal identity, my ancestors.
Protesters opposing the National Guard deployment. What do you think about the National Guard being brought in?
I think that it's ridiculous, because where was the National Guard on January 6th?
This violence that I've seen is disgusting. We are overwhelmed as far as the number of people out there engaged in this type of activity.
The LAPD chief asked about the presence of the National Guard, saying he thought local authorities could handle it, but he's now reassessing.
Do we need them? Well, looking at tonight, this thing has gotten out of control.
Liz Kreutz joins us once again from the scene of those protests. Liz, we saw what happened this weekend. Walk our through what's happening tonight.
Yeah, so right now, this is a crowd of people in this one location here outside this federal building where we're seeing the National Guard. We weren't seeing this last night. Los Angeles has just announced a tactical alert citywide here. There's a lot of anger. They're shouting at these officers. But mostly so far, it has been peaceful. That's what we're hearing from officers as well. But the big concern is as we head into those nighttime hours, that's when we really start to see the escalation, Tom.
All right, Liz Kreutz leading us off. Liz, please stay safe out there. Now to the growing war of words between and Governor Gavin Newsom over the LA protests you just saw. The latest escalation, President Trump suggesting today he'd support arresting Newsom. Here's Jacob Soboroff.
Tensions high tonight on the streets of Los Angeles and between the Trump administration and the state of California. The state today announcing a lawsuit against the administration over its deployment of the National Guard.
I like Gavin Newsom. He's a nice guy, but he's grossly incompetent. Everybody knows.
While President Trump suggested he's open to arresting Governor Gavin Newsom. Tom is Tom Homan, the president's border czar. Over the weekend, Homan and Newsom throwing jabs at one another during interviews with NBC News. Homan saying anyone who breaks the law by standing in the way of immigration enforcement could be arrested, even Newsom or LA Mayor Karen Bass.
Are they at risk of being arrested?
I'll say about anybody. You cross that line. It's a felony to knowingly harbor and conceal an illegal alien. It's a felony to impede law enforcement from doing their job.
That led to this reaction from Newsom, who I met up with last night at the Los Angeles County Emergency Operations Center.
Tom Homan, the border czar, said to me yesterday he did not rule out literally arresting you, nor Mayor Bass, if you interfere in his words. He said you hadn't yet.
He's a tough person to do that. He knows where to find me. So Tom, arrest me. Let's go.
Today, Homan clarifying his comments.
They have a cross line, but they're not above either. If they commit a crime, they certainly will ask for prosecution. That's what was happening. I never threatened to arrest Governor.
The protests ignited after a series of immigration raids in LA, where as many as 1 million undocumented immigrants live.
Before those protests on Friday, one of the locations where ICE conducted an enforcement operation was right here in this parking lot of a Home Depot in the Cypress Park neighborhood of Los Angeles. To go by in order to be offered a job and go take one for the day.
In the face of the uncommon raids, these undocumented workers felt it was important to speak out, but wore masks to protect their identities.
Are you worried about your family, about your families?
Today, organizer Pablo Alvarado calling the raids the highest expression of hypocrisy.
We need your labor, but we don't want to accept your humanity. We need your labor, but we don't want to respect your rights.
Jacob, let's go back to the president's comments about arresting Governor Gavin Newsom. Our viewers are more likely wondering, can the president do that?
That would be up to the discretion of the federal government, Tom, and a senior White House official tells NBC News that there are no plans under consideration nor active to arrest state or local government officials here in California. Meanwhile, Tom Homan, the border czar, tells me that those types of ICE operations that played out here over the weekend are going to be happening every day on the streets of Los Angeles for the foreseeable future.
All right, Jacob Soboroff for us. Jacob, thank you. Now to the deadly shooting in Las Vegas. Authorities today arrested the accused suspect in connection with the double homicide that happened right on the Vegas Strip. A warning, the video you're about to see is disturbing. Ryan Chandler joins us now live from Vegas. And Ryan, the shooting happened right where you were?
Tom, that's right. This is the exact shots than 20 ago. You see this spot on that live stream which captured this shooting in real time. You see this famous sidewalk buzzing with people hoping to catch a glimpse of the iconic Bellagio fountains when what sounds like 7 shots ring out. We spoke to a man today who told us he was just steps away from the shooter when telling us he ran for his life, fearing that this was another mass shooting, taking shelter in a nearby hotel. Now, police tell us today that 41-year-old Manuel Ruiz turned himself into a Henderson police station. They say that this was an isolated incident that kicked off as a feud online, as a conflict on social media that tragically escalated, not yet identifying the victims. Tom.
All right, Ryan Chandler, we thank you. Now to an exclusive first look at stunning interviews with the ex-wife and daughter